Hi, my name is Francois. I'm more commonly known as Dula in Atlanta. I wanted to take some time out to talk to you guys about my experiences with immigration and, some of the immigration issues that are going on around the country, especially the sweep that's happening tomorrow and the implications that it can have on you, your family, your friends, and potentially your career. Um, I traveled to England earlier this year for a mobility conference. From that conference, on my way back, we came back a couple of days earlier, so my original flight to Chicago didn't happen. I was supposed to go to O'Hare, Chicago. We had to catch a flight to Houston, Texas to be able to connect back to Atlanta. So going into Houston, George W. Bush, I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't know at the time that the immigration issue was such a hot ticket, especially in Texas, being the front line of the whole immigration battle with a zero tolerance on all immigration matters. I got to Border Custom Patrol desk and they were reviewing my documents. Everything was fine. The guy was about to let me go through, and then next thing I know, he said that he got a call from the people in the back and that they wanted to take a closer look at my case or my situation. And when I got back there, I was told by Border Custom Patrol, because I had two convictions in the past, which one was a misdemeanor conviction and the other one was a docketed case back in Atlanta 19 years ago. 19 years ago. I was told that my status had changed from a resident alien to a arriving alien, and because of that I had to be detained. I couldn't get a bond, and I had to go see the judge directly. They immediately transferred me to a holding facility called what they called a holding facility, but it was more like a prison. It was called Montgomery Processing Center in Conroe, Texas. I spent 2 months there. I spent 2 months in this facility, guys. All right. During the 2 month stay there, my family worked on getting me a lawyer, of which the lawyer never came to the facility to sit down and strategize a plan with me on what I could do to get out. They never even called the facility. They even talked to me and make me aware of what my rights are, what I can do, what my options are at all. Prior to my birthday, which was on March 21st, the law firm called and said, or they didn't call me, they called my family members and told my family members that they would not be able to beat the case. Now, prior to this, I told my family, hey, this law firm has not come to see me. They hadn't called me, so I don't think we should go with them, because after we gave them the retainer, at that we were able to discontinue the services and find another lawyer that would have been more interactive, that would have had more information to share with me. But my family thought it would be best to just continue to stay with this lawyer. Okay, no harm, no foul there. When I got to court, that was the first time that I saw that lawyer. They gave us, pretty much 30 seconds to sit there and confer about the case. The lawyer didn't even have any facts of the case, didn't know anything about the case, and I had to give her the paperwork that I had in hand so she can get up to speed with the case. The prosecutor and the judge looked at each other, perplexed, trying to figure out why this lawyer didn't know anything about a case that she's supposed to be representing. So at that point, the lawyer asked for a continuance. Okay, so since then, I'm back in the facility for another 30 days, and that other 30-day interim, the lawyer still never came and saw me, still never gave me a call so we could sit down, strategize, and even talk about our case. During my time at Conroe, Texas, the facility, where there were a lot of issues with the facility, I contracted two infections. I contracted a foot infection from the communal shoes that they were recycling, given from one inmate to the next. I caught an infection on one of my toes that turned out to be what's called like cellulitis or something like that, and it became a very painful infection. The second infection I got was a skin infection that I contracted from the clothes that they were giving me in the facility. Okay. After a lot of complaining, after a lot of fighting to get a physician in there to take a look at me and things of that nature, I was diagnosed by two different providers, and they both got it wrong. And when I saw the third provider, it was a woman that actually took a look at the case and was able to quickly diagnose what was going on and began to give me treatment to help get it better. Okay. So now 2 months has passed. I'm up for my second court date, and my lawyer, the second time I seen my lawyer was in this court. She said to me that, hey, you're not going to be able to win this case. And I said, why wouldn't I be able to win this case? I have nonviolence. I've been in the United States for 30 years. I've been in the United States since I was the age of 3. I've had a green card or a resident card for 30 years. There is no way that I'm supposed to be getting deported. There is no way that I'm supposed to be getting deported. She began to say that, well, it's out of her hand, and it's just one of those things to where you're going to have to just go back to your country, and from your country, you're going to be able to fight the case. I told her that, hey, I've been in the United States since I was 3 years old. The reason that I even have the citizenship of my country is because my mother was born there. I wasn't even born in that country. I was born in a different country. Okay, and I've never been to that country to visit. I've never been to that country for any reason at all, none whatsoever. Never been on the soil of that country. She said, well, that doesn't matter. It's because of the passport that you have, and they're going to send you to wherever your passport says. At that point, I asked the judge, can I talk to her a little bit longer, because this entire process was rushed. It was totally rushed. I never had a chance to address the judge directly, so the judge can even look at the facts of the case to make his own determination about the facts of the case. Long story short, they determined that I was deportable, and they set me out to be deported. I was deported back to Haiti on May 7th. I've been in Haiti now since May 7th. I have no family here, no friends here, no money. I was sent here with the clothes on my back, a couple of other items that my girlfriend was able to bring up to me at the facility, and since then, my whole life has just been upside down. Everything that I've worked hard for, I've lost it in a matter of months from this particular process. Okay, so it's one of those things to where I take care of my mother. My mother is older, and she's one of those people that worked really hard, above and beyond to get me in this country. And what ended up happening to me was such a slap to her in her face, because she went through so much and did sacrifice so much to work hard just to make sure that I'm able to get the necessary documents to be in this country or to be in the United States. And I haven't seen my mother since the earlier part of February. I haven't seen any friends and family since February. So it's almost about 6 months, maybe 5 to 6 months since I've been going through this process. And I'm currently in Haiti, and like I said, I'm living by myself. I had to, I've been living off of my savings, and, been trying to figure out how to navigate through this entire process. This immigration situation is a serious one. Whether you don't have anything in your past in terms of past convictions, the smallest things could be something that can get you caught up with immigration. There were so many disheartening cases that I heard through this entire process. Whether people were being detained for failure to appear, DUIs. If you were, in an argument, you might have been arguing with a significant other, and the neighbor called the police and happened to come to your residence, and next thing you know, you have ICE knocking at your door, asking, can you step out, because they want to talk to you, and they're within their full rights to detain you and to take you. At least that's what they're going to tell you. Okay, so you really want to know your rights at this point. There's been instances where, with driver's license, if you got pulled over for a minor traffic incident and your driver's license says limited term on there, you're not a U.S. citizen, they're going to send your information to ICE, and ICE can target you at any given point to bring you in. There is so much going on in this country right now, or in the United States right now, and I ask everybody to wake up, just like wake up. The sweep that's happening tomorrow is targeting sanctuary cities. It's almost like a political standoff, if you will, because the same sanctuary cities were not compliant with the demand of ICE, with the demand of the ICE department, and now because of that, those are the first cities that ICE are doing the raids in. I don't know if everyone has made that connection. Beyond that, a lot of these cities have a lot of black and brown families in it, and I know, on a larger scale, the immigration issue affects, everybody. However, in our communities, there are a lot of people that are being locked up, that are being detained for all sorts of reasons, that they may have never been detained for or detained for in the past. Now, all of a sudden, if you have an immigration issue, and you can be picked up by ICE and held indefinitely and be deported. They're looking to change the system in terms of asylum seekers. They're looking to hold people indefinitely. Luckily, I think the Supreme Court ruled against that, or a judge ruled against that just the other day. But make no doubt about it that these laws will have a dramatic effect on your life financially, in terms of your career, being missing work, not being able to, take care of some of these incredible high legal fees. In most cases, the lawyer cannot even get you off of the case. It's something that the judge has to review and make a determination. So it's really you and the judge that needs to be sitting down and having this conversation about what your options are. A lot of these law firms are predators. They target people knowing that people are fearing being deported back to their country, and they target you to make this obscene amount of money off of you for no reason, only to tell you in the end that, hey, we're not able to get you off of your case. Imagine that. Your family come to this country, they work hard, things happen, mistakes happen, even if it wasn't a mistake, you're unfairly targeted, and now most people have to give up, their life savings in order to fight something that was unfairly imposed on them. It's that serious. It is that serious. This immigration issue, it's much bigger than what I went through. And sitting here in Haiti, and I saw the post about they were going to target a month ago, and then they postponed it for another 2 weeks, and then now they're going to go with it this Sunday. It just kind of brought some chills to me, and I'm like, man, this is not right. The conversation is not even really it's not really taking place in our communities. It's taking place in what we call the foreign communities, but everyone is an immigrant here. Everyone is an immigrant here. Every friend you have, in your circle of friends, you have somebody that has an international passport and a resident card. I can guarantee it, in your circle of friends. Okay, and in my city, the city that I love, I went to Cohen Middle School. I went to McNair Junior High. I went to the senior high. I went to open campus. Everything that I've done, I'm from the east side. I'm from East Atlanta, Boulder Crest. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've done in Atlanta has been wiped away. It's been wiped away in one felt swoop just because, you know, wow, just because I had a couple of incidents when I was young, when I was 22 years ago? Or was it because, you know, you guys are trying to target certain people to make money off of them, you know, to put them in these shadow prisons, you know, put them in these private funded, you know, prisons to make money off of them. And then once you can't make any more money off of them, you get rid of them. You get rid of them, you know? So, I mean, again, I wanted to just talk about my experiences a little bit because it needs to be heard. It needs to be heard. You know, I haven't really reached, I'm a private person. You know, this happened to me back in February. I was deported in May, and I haven't really got into sharing too much with it because I've been feverishly working on trying to get the right lawyer or trying to get the right representative, if you will. I'm looking for people that actually work in Homeland Security, that work with INS, that work in ICE, because to me, those are the better people to confer with and, you know, to kind of pick their brains to see exactly what it is that we can and can't do, you know. My father used to tell me lawyers are liars, and you know, I haven't learned. I just learned that lesson. I learned that lesson as to why lawyers are liars and why, you know, some of them will just take your money and leave you in a position of hurt and leave you in a position of where you feel like nothing has been accomplished, you know, where nothing has been accomplished. Everything that I've worked hard for, like I said, in a matter of days, really, at that moment, it was taken away from me. I've never committed a violent act. I've never been arrested for a violent act. I've never been arrested for, you know, anything that would warrant being deported from that country. Not one thing that would warrant being deported from that country. Tomorrow, these raids are going down. You know, these raids are going down. They're systematic, and they're doing them they have a different approach to each city that they're going to. They're doing that so that you can't figure out a pattern and, okay, you know, basically adjust to their patterns and figure out how to get out of it. They are really out here experimenting with people's lives, and you guys just need to be aware of it, you know. It's not a immigrant issue, it's a United States issue. It's an America issue. Everybody that's in America is an immigrant, you know. Immigrants built every major city in America. Every major city in America was built by an immigrant, you know. So I don't understand, you know, how we've gotten to a point where we're trying to kick out people that are building this country up, you know. I understand the need for rules. I understand the needs for policies. I understand the need for, you know, to have some type of law and order. I totally understand that. But to be able to weaponize, you know, immigration in order to A, make money off of it, and B, to get rid of, you know, what they see as less desirable is wrong. It's inhumane and it's wrong. It's inhumane and it's wrong, you know. And a lot of people are not having this conversation. We see the post on the news outlets. We see things going on, and you know, we really don't know the gravity until it happens to you. You know, so to my friends, to my family, you know, just to everybody out there, anybody that cares about, you know what I just said, you know, you guys need to really communicate with each other and really be aware that, you know, this thing is going to have a ripple effect. It's going to have a long-lasting ripple effect, and you know, it's also a domino effect. Because once it happened to one, it's going to start happening to others with regularity. And that's why they're even confident with announcing it. Thank you for your time, guys, you know, and be safe out there.